We're starting 3, 2, 1. Welcome. My name is Dulio. I got my co-host here, Luis.
Yo, yo.
We got our guest today. Our guest today is our good friend of ours, Elder Reyes. Elder's 21 years old. He's at Missouri Southern, education major. He's also the assistant soccer coach here at Carthage High. How you doing today?
Doing great. How are you guys?
Oh,
I'm
man.
feeling pretty good.
Another Sunday. Hopefully the Chiefs get that W.
Yeah.
Going to the playoffs. But yeah, man. Tell us about your. Let's start with the high school soccer. We've all played with each other. We always joke around with you that you didn't win the 10th district title here.
Yeah, that's the one thing that really burdens my career as a Carthage player is not winning the district title my senior year, and on top of that, ending the streak that we had for 10 years, right?
Yeah, it was 9 years in a
Yeah,
row. Me and Luis have 4 district titles back to back.
Back to back.
It's all right. Three
isn't bad.
That was a disappointment to the community.
Yeah, no, really, I felt that one heavy, especially when we lost. I remember going back, walking back from the corner that Osborne talks to us and facing everybody. I was like, crap, man, it was so bad. I remember just crying so much and apologizing to former players. I'm like, my bad, guys.
No, yeah. And you definitely have the resume for it, though. 2-time state honors, so one of the few players from Carthage that have received state honors.
Yeah.
How's that feel?
Feels good, and one of the coolest things is just having my picture up there, and that'll be up there forever. And one of the things that I've always said is, whenever my kids go to the high school, they're gonna be, oh, that's my pops up there. So that's pretty dope to me.
Hell yeah.
No, yeah, that'll definitely be an accomplishment that you'll keep for a while.
And then another thing with that, it goes back to what I said, is how looking at that picture, it being my junior year, and then the next year was my senior year, and then losing the district title, was like, crap, dude. It's always going to be there no matter what, just even looking at that picture that's hung up there.
Yeah, and we've all been to a state game. We've all been to the state tournament. I went my freshman year just on the bench, but it was great to see all the competition. And then again my sophomore year, and it was super intimidating that year I was starting.
Yeah.
You went, I believe, right? Did you not?
I didn't go there, no. That was the upcoming years whenever I came up. Yeah.
Okay, because I only played 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
And then Luis, so both of you guys went together, actually.
Yeah.
Because I didn't go. I remember now. I didn't go with either of you.
Yeah, it was Luis's senior year and my junior.
Yep.
How was that? What's the feeling like going to the state tournament? In Carthage, this has been 6 years ago since I was in the high school.
Yeah.
And so at the time, almost most Carthage athletics were doing real good, and whether that was playoffs, getting to the state tournaments. What was the feeling like to reach the best high school tournament?
It was surreal from my experience, and I mean I can speak for Luis's too. The funny thing throughout the season was we never had the goal of going to state. We were just having fun, and that's what made it one of the best seasons in my 4 years. Is just we took it game by game and just had so much fun on and off the field together as a true team.
No, definitely practice was one of the funner parts of soccer.
For sure.
Hanging out with everyone, our normal routine.
Yeah, especially with this guy here, Luis. He was cracking me up most of the time on the bus rides with him, and he sat right across from me. And
one thing that I would never forget is Dagner.
Oh my goodness.
Soccer practice, man. They're something else.
Yeah. Was it the time where we threw the cleat or the bench? Because he had two things. The bench. The bench. We were all messing around before practice at the YMCA fields, and there was all a group huddle going on, and Dagner was in the middle of it, and we started dogpiling on top of Dagner. And was it you that grabbed him?
I grabbed Dagner.
Yeah, he grabbed Luis, being on the muscle that he has, try to suplex the kid or something.
No, dude, honestly, so I think he was trying to get away, and I think he tripped or something.
Yeah.
And I went down with him, and his head just busted right on the bleacher. He started crying, and as soon as he started crying, Coach Alden pulled up. Dude, I had to go run up to Dagner. Then I was like, yeah, you're good, bro. You gotta calm down, bro. You can't be crying, bro. You good.
The normal stuff when like you hurt your siblings or you hurt your
you hit me. Yeah, type of thing.
Yeah, dude. So I
You want some candy?
I freaking ran up to him like, yo, bro, you're good. Come on.
I remember that, and I also remember just the exhausting practices too.
Yeah.
You know, dude. That's probably the hardest I've ever worked was during high school soccer practice. And I know you guys did wrestling, and I know it's kind of similar or even worse at times. You know, and it's awesome to experience that. You know, it's awesome to know how far your body can go in a sense, because we have 2-a-days. I'm not sure if you were there for 2-a-days. You didn't.
No, I never got to experience it.
Yeah.
Well, with soccer, I never got to experience 2-a-days.
But with any sport, really, just 2-a-days. You wake up in the morning, go work out, then go through school and stuff, and right after school, right back at it. You know. And I remember 10 120s.
Yeah.
That was our nightmare. That was all of our nightmares. 10 120s. Coach said, "Get on the line." You already knew, man. It was about to be hell.
For me, it was the figure eights, the box sprints at the end. After we got done doing the 2 loops for a warm up, and then 10 120s, you go through the practice, run another loop to finish it off, and it's like, all right, we got 20 minutes left. Figure eights, and that's the part that killed me. Yeah. And my freshman year, because I was going try hard mode, trying to make varsity. That's the one where I used all my energy up in the first few runs, and I remember you, Hector, Jesse were like, you got to slow down, you got to pace yourself, and I was like trying to put my name out there, and then at the end of the day, whenever it came to figure eights, I was the first one throwing up, bending over, everything. I was done. But that's the one that got me the most was the figure eights.
What's one of your most memorable memories from high school soccer?
The hat trick at the state finals.
The hat trick at state finals.
That was a surreal moment, just because not a lot of people really get to have that experience of one going to state and then on another one scoring, but let alone scoring a hat trick at state. That's pretty dope. And then the way that I scored them were kind of funny in a sense, but I got the job done. And
man, as long as we made it to the final.
Yeah, the balls went in, so it was pretty cool. And the best goal I probably scored in my high school season was that day from a free kick. It's about like 25, 30 yards out, and honestly, the ball went to the right, but I tried to aim left, so I have no idea what that ball was doing. And I just remember I just knuckled it, hoping it would go to the left side, and it just took a weird effect and just drifted right and went on the keeper side, and it looked cool, and I owned up to it, but I for sure didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And so to clarify a little bit, I think either 2012 we were state runner-ups, in 2013 we were state runner-ups as well, and then 2015 2016 is when you guys went. You guys were state runner-ups as well, right? So we could never finish off.
We never finished off. Even before that, they had like a 4th place finish, stuff like that before us. Yeah. But
so tell, because I vividly remember my sophomore year, our journey from winning districts to winning sectionals. Yeah. Then regionals, and and just a feeling of us winning regionals, and like we're going onto the state finals. And I remember, because we're all Hispanics growing up, we ride the yellow bus, but for state we get the charter bus. We're all like
cheap ass charter bus.
Well, I think you guys got a like cheaper one than we did.
We did.
But we had a charter bus, and everyone was looking around like, damn, these seats are nice, these seats recline, Yeah, dude.
The fuck. we expected something much bigger, and then we saw it pull it up, and we're like, bro, we'd rather take a yellow bus than this, honestly.
Dude, it sucked. Yeah. Dude, we were all squished.
Did you guys have 2 or 1?
We just had one.
It was a smaller one, too, right?
Small
we
little,
were crammed. Yeah, we were crammed big time.
Oh, man. And then the hotels, like, the hotels are just another story. Just a bunch of craziness. No sleeping sometimes,
No
staying up late, messing with each other.
Funny story on not sleeping. The day that we won the semifinal game, right? Obviously, the state game's next. I was trying to get some sleep, man, and these guys stayed up till like 3 a.m. that day that we were going to go play the state championship. No, not you, but I'm talking about the other guys. They came into our rooms and stuff, and I remember I had to go sleep with him somewhere else because they were just so pumped that we won that game, and like they did not sleep that entire day. And maybe that's why.
If they would have some Ronas, they would have been drinking Ronas that day.
They were just off. And we were little kids, so we were just vibing to the moment, playing FIFA all night, and just being high school kids and being guys, but they
excited to be there.
Yeah, they were extremely excited to be there. I mean, I was too and all, but I wanted to get my sleep.
I wasn't all that crazy about it. I was like, all right, we got the next game tomorrow.
Yeah.
So how were the nerves before the final game?
I was extremely nervous. What about you?
I was nervous, but nothing like too extreme where I'm like, oh shit, like damn, I can't play.
Yeah. The thing that got to me was I was nervous, but I just tried to hide the fact that I wasn't. You know what I mean? Like I was just trying to cool it to show the team, like, we got this type of thing. Yeah. But deep down, I was like, oh shit, I'm shooting bricks kind of thing.
No, I try to do that too, but then I just become quiet. You just quiet, trying to focus, really trying to hide all the nerves, but in reality, it's just building up and making you even more nervous. No, I remember that. But now you're assistant coach.
Yeah.
For the high school team.
JV coach. Yeah.
And so, the JV coach. How's the transition between from player to now be actually coaching some of these young players?
It wasn't a big transition. It was just more gaining the knowledge of being an inside player to now being an ex-player and being on the sidelines and not being able to trying to go get the ball myself and figure what I want to do as a player there, but instead it's like I have to tell someone else to go, hey, go in the mid and control the ball, this side is weaker, so try to play the through ball here type of thing. But that was one of the bigger adjustments. But other than that, it took me about 2-3 weeks to fully get in charge of my boys. But Coach Osborne and Coach Lovell did a great job of giving me homework and assigning me to read books and asking me questions, about tactical stuff and getting my input and then them correcting on this is how we should do it. This is the Tiger style, the Coach Osborne style. But they took me under the wing completely and really helped me adjust to that.
That's awesome. So with your practices, do you kind of model them around some of Coach Osborne's old practices, or do you kind of incorporate some of the stuff you kind of want to see within your players, or what are you focusing on? At
first, I told the guys strictly that I had never been on a JV team, so I was like, everything that we're going to do, the drills, the set plays or whatever, stuff that I learned from Coach Osborne, and then some of the stuff that I took away from my 1 year playing college ball. And I told him, I was like, it might be a little high tempo, a little intensity stuff, but I mean, if we want to be able to get to the varsity level, we have to be able to do these drills. And I came 100% at them with that. And at first, the first few weeks, that's what my main focus was. And then once the game started pouring in, the guys got experience of it. And then I was able to see, okay, we need to work on our finishing. Our first touch is really heavy. So that's whenever I took the games and used that to set my practices up.
Okay. Yeah, because definitely, I think the goal of JV is kind of just to develop these players, right?
Yeah. And that's what Coach Osborne told me from the bat, from the beginning of the season, was that, of course, we want you to win, but at the same time, your job is to develop these players for whenever my team needs a couple players, I'm able to have the confidence and take 2 players from your practice and have them practice with me, and they fit in perfectly with the team.
So do you feel as you've seen your players and as you go, because you've completed your first season, correct?
Yeah.
And so as you've gone from, let's say, day one practice or week one practice to, let's say, I don't know, we're 5 games in. Do you see that improvement? Do you see the kind of mentalities start shifting?
Yeah, for sure. The first 3 weeks, I had 3 of my JV starters go off and be varsity bench players because they owned up to the position that I put them in. And then Coach Osborne liked them and was like, all right, that player shouldn't be on JV kind of thing. So he went ahead and took those. And then one of them became a full-on starter throughout the season. So that made me feel awesome, just because I put them in that position. And Osborne would be like, oh, I never thought of that kind of thing. And they did fine in the varsity level.
One thing that I always see is, or I've noticed, is coaches and teachers that they have an impact on students' lives and on these younger kids growing up and stuff. Do you have any pressure? Does that ever go through your head, like how you should maybe teach some lessons, like life lessons within?
For sure. The one thing that really did get to me is that I'm only 21. So these guys maybe have about, they're 4 years younger than me. So it's like, what can I teach them whenever I was just in their shoes, like, not too long ago. Yeah. But I did have some good reflections with some of the guys and, us being close in range and, like, age-wise, I have them on social media. And at the end of the season, it felt good having some players, be like, hey, this is one of the best coaches I've had, or I liked having Elder as a coach. And then for my end-of-the-year review, some of the players got like surveyed or asked questions about me, and I got really good stuff from them and feedback. So it makes me feel good about my first year, but also excited for the second year that it's coming.
That's great, man. That's great. Because
one thing that I wanted to get, is there like a different style that these younger guys play than what we play?
Or a little bit, yeah. Honestly, the style that we played was it was a bit quicker. It is a different formation because, back in the day we played like with the stopper, our 2 fullbacks and then, that like the John, the sweeper area or whatever. And now we play with the straight 4-3-3.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And back in the day, if we were to look at our players, like a 4-3-3 would have suited us perfect type of thing, having you as a left striker, Hector as a top forward, and then having someone stronger on the right side. We had so much skill back in the day that would have helped us a lot more. And that's the only major difference I see in the style of play now.
And then I've noticed as I gotten more experience, I guess, as I played more afterwards, because here in Carthage there's a huge Hispanic community, and Sunday leagues are huge for churches and stuff. And I've seen as I've continued to play Sunday leagues and after high school and stuff, I've seen myself progress and know the game a lot better,
Right. And
so that's definitely one thing that comes with just experience and stuff. But let's talk a little bit about that. We live in a big Hispanic community, especially especially here in Carthage with like soccer and stuff. And we've all played on Sunday leagues together, and sometimes on the opposite teams. Yep. And it's a pretty big deal, and it's fun. It's the only thing I have left of soccer, really, because I didn't continue to play soccer in college, which I wish I would have. But Sunday leagues is kind of the only place where I can lift up a trophy again, you know. And but what are your thoughts on kind of our soccer community here, and what it's been like? Because even our fathers used to, they had a Jasper League, and they used to play against each other. Like it's been, the soccer community here has been here for a while.
It's one of the reasons why I personally like living in Carthage. And especially in the summertime, everybody's at the campo. Whether it be here at, the Jordan Church or Bastorneris, it's something's going on the weekend, and that's the one thing is soccer. And it's a good atmosphere because, you know, it gives you something to look forward to throughout the week. You know, you go to work, all this and all that, you know, and then at the weekend comes, it's like I get to enjoy some time with the guys, and sometimes that's the only time we see each other nowadays because we're all so dang busy working and with our lives. Is like one Sunday comes, it's like, oh, I get to see this person, and, you know, just hang out at the soccer fields, and that's one of the cool pluses about living here.
Yeah.
And it can get really competitive too.
You're telling me I have a scar in the back of my head, bro. I got messed up.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that because we were playing on the same team, and let's talk about your scar, because that's the running joke is like for any Sunday league is everyone's going in hard. You know, there's dirty players. Everyone's like, they're going in to not really maliciously, but they're going in hard, you know.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Sometimes they did go in.
Yeah,
but and it also goes back to like that's the only thing they have now. So it's like they take pride into like representing their team or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's why they go so dang hard. And it's like they fight for every 50-50, and it might be even an 80-20, but they come at it. And make you feel like it's a 50-50 for sure.
And I've definitely been on that end too. I definitely played hard and gotten hurt, and you know, but talk to me about how you got your scar.
Man, I was so pumped for that game. It was against, you know, one of our good friends, George, and they were the top leader, and we were in second place, and we were tied in points. So winner of that game was like, you know, going to be the first seed or whatever. And, you know, warming up, all that felt good, you know, passing the ball with you and all this. And then 2 minutes of the game goes by. I'm playing as a left mid, and, you know, the ball shifted to the right side of the field. So, you know, the natural thing is to do is shift a little, you know, to try to receive the ball. And I'm not sure what happened, but somehow the ball ended up going up in the air. And I was facing the opposition, you know, my back towards the defenders. And then I was going to bring the ball down. I didn't even jump for it, really. Just, you know, gave a little jump off my little toes, you know, nothing big. Try to bring it down. And then all of a sudden I feel whack in the back of the head. And then I go down and I put my hand behind my head. And I was like, the thoughts were like, there's no way I'm this sweaty right now because I just felt like liquid, you know, something. Yeah. And then everyone's huddled around me and I'm like, crap. And I look at my hand. It's just full of blood. Full of blood. And dude, my dude Dulio, I see him. I look up and I see Dulio. I think you took it off your shirt, right?
No,
or did you run
no.
back?
I ran to my backpack because so I had the perfect view. I was looking at you, and you were kind of facing towards me, and the ball was in the air right above you, and the defender he just running. He knew what he was doing. He saw you below him, and he kind of just ran. He jumped and ran through you.
Yeah.
And so I saw you go down, like you said, everyone huddled around you. And, first thing I see is your gash in the back of your head. And I'm like, shit. Like, I'm just thinking in my head, like, damn. Like, and you were just laying face down, just still. And
I didn't move for, like, good 30 seconds. Everybody was trying to shake me, and I was like, I do not want to see how bad this is.
No, damn, that motherfucker dead.
And then once I saw that people were coming over and we didn't really have anything, I think they brought like a first aid kit or something, but they did. It was just like little gauzes and stuff, and so I just remembered I had my shirt that I came with, so I ran back to my backpack, grabbed that, ran back, and I told him, I was like, I'll rip it apart, do whatever you need to, you know, and, like get them all covered up. And so they got you all bandaged up, and like
they used that shirt and just like full on wrapped me like a little mummy on the top of the head.
And they took you to the hospital. I remember we played that game, and I don't remember. I think we won.
Yeah, you guys won 2-1.
We won that game. Yeah, it was like the bigger game of that season.
Yeah,
and we ended up winning. And
it's like I gave you motivation.
Basically. I was like, I'm playing for my dude elder. We're winning, man. We're winning. And I remember after the game, I went up to your uncle and I was like, hey man, like how's he doing? You know, because they said they took you to the hospital. And he's like, oh, he's shook enough. They can't fix him right up quite yet because he's still got a bunch of adrenaline going and stuff.
Damn.
I didn't feel it was a bad cut, man. I took 9 staples to the head. And I remember when on our way there, my Uncle Byron was like, are you all right? And I was like, I don't want to talk right now. Like, I'm just trying to process this whole thing. And I was like, man, dude, my mom's going to beat my ass when I get home.
Yeah, dude, that's like a Hispanic mom thing to do.
Beat my ass when I get home.
She's going to be worried at first. And then when she knows you're okay, she's going.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, Uncle, I'm fine. I just got to process this. And I was just thinking the whole way there to Mercy. And I got there, and the nurse, the lady, I don't know what you call it, secretary or whatever, like was like, what's wrong? And I was like, I showed her my head, and they're like, we need a doctor. So that they took me. They had I had 3 people there that were already, in the lobby, and I just went right ahead into the emergency room, and they opened it up or whatever, and they cleaned it up. And the doctor told me that I was really lucky that it wasn't like a direct hit on the back of the head, and it was more of a scrape, because if it was a direct hit, then I would have been in serious problems. And thankfully I was blessed not to get like any type of concussion or anything like that, or anything dangerous. But they told me that I definitely need to be careful with those type of hits, because a hit like that towards the back of the head could be
it can be really crucial.
Yeah, it can be really bad.
No, yeah, that was definitely like one of the scarier injuries I've seen there, and I'm sure we've all seen our fair share of injuries there too. I remember seeing. Well, personally, I literally broke my nose this past year playing soccer there, and then I've seen people mess up their knees or tear the ACLs and stuff. And the fields aren't. It's not like the fields are anything special. It's like playing in your backyard. Going out there.
Quality turf or anything. They're little dirt fields, a little hole here and there type of thing.
Yeah, but. I give it credit for me being in shape still. It's something I look forward to, and it's sometimes there's like 2 or 3 leagues on the weekends. There's a Saturday and a Sunday, and then there's a Carthage league, and then there's like sometimes a Neosho league,
league,
30 minutes down the road and stuff. And sometimes we're in all of those leagues, So we have 2 games in one day, or sometimes they have those.
I think that's part of the reason why I kind of stopped playing too, because man, that shit burned me out. Because I remember one summer, me and you we were playing in Carthage, not Carthage, Neosho. If not Neosho, we'd be playing at some other league. So.
And on top of that, it's not just the weekends. Now it's like during the weekdays, you have the Joplin 7v7, and then on here Thursday nights you have the 6v6, 5v5 or whatever. And it just keeps you active throughout the whole week, really.
Yeah. And I think it's awesome seeing how popular the sport is getting in general, just soccer in general.
For sure. Yeah.
Growing up, I think we all played comp ball, competitive, like on a traveling team, and I give that credit to. I think I give that credit to kind of our success in our careers, in our high school careers.
Yeah.
Because definitely I think any sort of competitive or travel ball or anything like that really improves and develops players a lot quicker.
Oh yeah.
And we all 3 of us played in the Metro, right?
Yeah, we did play Metro.
Metro or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. We did play there, and then I didn't play throughout high school, because it's a funny story, because I didn't grow up. I grew up liking soccer, but I didn't grow up playing soccer.
Yeah.
I played 6th grade football, like pee-wee football.
Yeah.
And I was into football. All throughout middle school, I was into football. I was playing football.
I think I remember you playing football.
Yeah.
Well, I remember having seen your freaking jersey. It was like a white jersey. It says Gonzalez in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
Yeah, so I played football, and it wasn't till like I was about 12, I say, or 12 or 11, I started playing.
Really?
I've tried playing soccer. It's funny because I got introduced into travel ball through a yard sale. That's kind of how my journey started. Cause I remember I went to the garage sales in like Carl Junction or something. You know, they have their yearly like garage sale thing where the whole town, if they have one, they put out their stuff to sell. But anyways, I was there with my aunt and my uncle, and we stopped at this house, and there was a lot of kids clothes that fit me, So I was like digging through everything. It was all nice like Nike stuff, like name brand stuff, Adidas stuff. Damn. And the people who lived there, they were actually the coaches of Metro. They coached Metro, and his son played for Metro and stuff. And so I don't. He saw me. I'm assuming, I don't really remember. He saw me just kind of rummaging through all the soccer stuff, all the soccer clothes and stuff. So he asked if I played soccer, and I told him no, but I've liked it. So I'd give it a chance. And I was like, yeah, like I think I told him, I was like, I had to ask my mom, if that's all right. And he's like, all right. And so he gave me his number, I think. And I think when I got home, I was pretty excited. So we called him up. My mom said, yeah, and everything. And ever since then, he would come pick me up for practice and stuff, and I'd go practice. And that's how I got introduced to all that. And then that's when I met Hector. Because that's when I started being friends with Hector, my good friend Hector. Shout out Hector. Yeah. And then that's kind of where it all started. And then, and then high school freshman right there for soccer tryouts and everything. But I totally went over my head. Let me backtrack a little bit. It totally went over my head that you played college ball.
Yeah, I played 1 year. Yeah.
So, and that's also a different level of soccer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What'd you think about that?
I was stoked about it, and it was like a bittersweet moment because I've been playing soccer all my life with like you guys, and then going from a new, different team and not having any of my friends to meeting guys from Venezuela, from Brazil, and then playing with some guys from Arkansas, and it's like a whole different scheme of the game. But yeah, I played 1 year at Crowder, and it was a good experience for me and something I enjoyed living at the dorms. But it didn't go my way really. There's always that saying like, JUCO's not meant for everybody just because it's raw talent. It's people that want to work hard. And there was just some mean dudes in that JUCO team. And, I started the first 3 games and all, but I was playing a position that I've never played with in my life. So I was having trouble to adjust to it. Not so much the speed of the game, but more of the, I have a role to play. I don't have to be that big time player that has to make the pass. I need to defend more than anything, type of thing. And going off from Coach Osborne's style of play of moving the ball to more of a, Europe style of play of get the ball and send our striker long, send him flag. And my coach would sometimes get annoyed of it and would be like, he's quicker than all the defenders, so just send him. But then my head would be like, why would we lose the ball? Let's just keep the ball and build up the play as we go. And that was one of the things that ended up being one of the main reasons why I just stopped playing, because the coach and I just cracked heads a lot. But overall, it was just a good experience, something good. And I take away the good from that because the majority of the practices that we touched on came from my college level experience.
Yeah. Yeah, I think college soccer is definitely almost like a job.
It was. The practices were insane. We had 3 days. That's whenever I experienced something big with soccer. Was 3 days, man.
3 days. I can imagine 3 days.
6 a.m. to 7:30 was conditioning. And, we didn't even put our boots on. We didn't put, no cleats. It was just running shoes, really. And we'd go out there. We'd start running, sprints, back and forth for an hour and a half. The morning session, we would go eat a small lunch, and then we would have practice about 30 to 45 minutes later. And that one was just lifting, push-ups, stuff like that, trying to get stronger. And then later on in the afternoon from 6 to 8:30, that's when the technical side of it was. So it was about 2.5 weeks of 3 days, and it was torture. Really, it was just a good experience also, but just like the grind of it was hard.
Yeah, I can't imagine 3 days. Speaking of college and stuff, you're an education major.
Yes.
What? I'd like to know a little bit about that process. What did it take to decide to be a teacher? Because is that what you want to be, a teacher?
Yeah. I decided my senior year actually, and losing the district title was one of the main things that pushed me towards that. Just like that unfinished business.
Yeah.
And it was my senior night, And I decided that, I don't want to let go of the program, and soccer has been in my life since I was born, really. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to try to become a teacher and, try to come back and coach. And then whenever we lost a district title, it was like, yeah, I for sure had to come back. It's unfinished business.
Really?
But that really pushed me and motivated me to try to get my grade, try to get, all this done in order to come back and coach with Coach Osborne.
Wow. I didn't know that. That's the first time. This is the first time I'm hearing of that. That's awesome. That's really neat to kind of come back and try to finish up what you started.
Yeah, just just unfinished business, and just the type of player that I was. It's like it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Mm-hmm. And you know how for senior night, whenever coach gives you like the little paper and it's like, what do you plan on doing? That's the thing I'd said, and I was like, I plan on coming back, coaching, and I made a joke and was like, I'm gonna come back and take over Coach Osborne's head coaching job. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, giving a little poke.
A little poke at it.
But yeah, man, that's awesome. But other than soccer, is there other passions you have?
Wrestling in high school was another one, and Luis can touch up on this also. It's just wrestling's a whole different type of sport, really.
It's beautiful, dude. It makes you. I don't know. You feel different.
It builds character for sure. It builds character. It builds character, and discipline is something that I've always said. You have to be very well disciplined, to push away a certain type of food, a certain type of meal at a young age. And on top of that, because my soccer weight was about 140, and then for wrestling season, I had to drop down to make 126. In reality, that meant I had to drop down to 24, 23 to try to maintain that weight throughout the season. So being a 16-year-old, 17-year-old, cutting away fast food, cutting away certain sugars, all that, and just focusing on dieting hardcore at a young age really did build discipline at a young age.
I never really got to cut weight like that, just because I was never really over, and the time that I was over is probably 2-3 pounds over, which is not really.
This guy's always been lean too, I've been on the thicker side of things, so I had to lose weight, big time.
Yeah. So.
But my senior year, I wrestled my freshman, sophomore, and I took my junior year off. And I was really down about losing state, so I was like, I didn't really have motivation after losing state. And the form that we lost state, I was like, man, this sucks. So I tried wrestling for a couple weeks my junior year, and then I was like, I don't have a feel for it. So I talked to Coach Brown. He was like, it's up to you. And I decided to take the year off, and came back my senior year, and that was great that he took me back in. But one of the duels, I think it was the Webb City duel, it was after Thanksgiving or so, and I came over 10 pounds overweight, man. 10 pounds. 10 pounds.
The day of?
The day after Thanksgiving, and then we had a duel that day.
Oh, shoot.
I came over 10 pounds.
10 pounds?
10 pounds, bro.
Did you eat 10 pounds of food for Thanksgiving?
I guess so. I mean,
actually, I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah, I ate 10 pounds.
You probably had 2 pounds of food and then 8 pounds of hot Cheetos.
Probably, honestly.
Yeah, sounds about right. Sounds about right.
Honestly, and you can't throw me on the bus like that. We have tamales and tamales. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Cheetos and everything.
Yeah, we go house to house.
Yeah, I came in overweight big time. And then I had Mr. Whitehead. I'm not sure if you remember him. He's like one of the football coaches at the time. He had the Holocaust class, all that.
Yeah, I remember
him. Yeah. And then I had Coach Bromley right after him. So I talked to both of them at the same time, and I was like, look, guys, I'm big time overweight. I showed them, I told them I was like, I'm 10 pounds over. And I told them, I was like, I have my work done in your class, and then I have my work done in your class already. I was like, would you guys mind if I took both your guys' class periods to go into the locker room and just run for the last 3.5 hours of school? And they talked about it, and they were like, yeah, we trust you, just don't leave the school. So that's what I did for about 3 hours. I was just shadow wrestling. I had 4 layers of stuff on, and then I was running, and then we had a bike in there. I was just going at it. And then by the time the duel came, I made the weight, so I dropped about 11 in one day.
Dude, that's some dedication right there, dude.
And it was awful.
Hell no.
It was awful,
dude. Yeah, because during high school, I've seen. I had classes with wrestlers and stuff. I had classes with Excel too, and I'd see the rigorous cutting and stuff.
Yeah.
I'd see it was a thing to have like an empty like Gatorade cup or something, and then like a
Jolly
Rancher or something.
Jolly Rancher gum in the mouth.
Yeah,
So
dude.
Looking back at it now that that we're wiser and stuff, is like that's so unhealthy what we did and the manner that we did it. Dehydrate ourselves the entire day just to make weight and then charge us back up with water and food, and it was so unhealthy. But yeah, I was definitely one of the wrestlers that full pack with Jolly Ranchers in the backpack, bottle of water in hand, and then just ready to spit all day. And
yeah.
I only did that once. Never again. Dude.
Yeah. Fuck. Really? Yeah. I don't know why. I don't think I was. What was the reasoning behind joining wrestling, or?
It was like a contact sport, really. You got to. It was,
were you guys interested in that growing up?
Yeah, I mean, I'm more like a rougher guy, so like I like feeling the roughness,
physical side of
so
the sport.
That was just being like, I was like the closest thing that I could do or join for free without like no charge. So
beating up on people for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's either get beat or beat up the other.
Yeah. And my wrestling little career started in junior high, and then I never thought much of it until I got to Coach Brown. And what you touched earlier on how some teachers and coaches really get to know their players and touch their lives, and Coach Brown is definitely one of those guys that definitely does that. You have so much respect for the guy, but at the same time, he's not afraid to call you a pussy. He's not afraid to get in your face and push yourself and tell you, don't be content. You can always go more.
Sometimes you need that too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, whenever it was 2-a-days for wrestling, there's times where we all wanted to quit, and he's yelling at our ear, like, if you quit on me now, you'll quit during the match type of thing. And I don't know. He's one of the guys that I respect, and it truly just showed me a lot at my early age in life.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I don't remember hearing a whole lot about wrestling growing up, but definitely looking back, I definitely want. If there's a time, if there's ever a time machine or anything, and then like go back and learn something, it's definitely wrestling. I definitely would want to go through all that and learn how to wrestle. But yeah, growing up, I didn't hear much of it. I guess I wasn't really exposed to it much. And other than football and soccer, I wasn't really exposed to it. And I wish I would have done wrestling.
Yeah,
it seemed fun. It looked fun and stuff.
It's really fun. Shoot, I'm trying to do like jiu-jitsu or like UFC type of thing, just because of how much I liked it. And like it
carries over big time in life, and the brotherhood that comes with being a wrestler is something that always sticks with you. Being in the wrestling mat with those guys, and beating each other up, making each other bleed, sometimes even crying type of thing, and it's just you build a bond with each other, and that's something that Coach Brown always preached about, just the brotherhood of it.
Yeah, I think you can get that with most sports too.
Yeah.
You find sometimes you find your best friends in sports.
Yeah.
I mean, you get that close when you're getting pushed. You getting pushed to your limits.
Yeah. And that's another thing I'm also grateful for, is because like I'm the youngest one out of the the friend group and all, and I for real think that if it wasn't for soccer, like I wouldn't be friends with these guys, George, Luis, you, and Ronald, since you guys are a year older than me. So like soccer really was the main focus of our friendship, and you guys have been part of my lives for 9 years, so it's definitely made a bond between us.
Yeah, I think I joined a little later, but definitely we've all created this bond, this family, and it's great. It's taught me a lot, and it's kept me sane too, having our group chat or hanging out on the weekends,
for sure.
It's like having those close friends, it's really.
It's something that you can lean on. That's for sure. Like if something's going on, you can fall back a little on this.
Yeah, and it's good to have one people, pick you back up. But when you got three other people, right there with you, picking you up and pushing you forward, it's really great.
That's one of the things I'm very grateful in life to the man above of is letting me be friends with you guys and surrounding myself with very ambitious people, you know, and stuff like that. Feed off of that energy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The energy rubs off on each other. Like if I see you doing great, you know, like I want to be great too. And it's like it's just a positive atmosphere between us, and I feel like that's one of the main reasons why we've always stuck together, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes back to you are who you hang out with.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
So.
Yeah,
You are who you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I've had some. I think growing up, I've surrounded myself with some questionable people too, but also I've learned a lot from it.
Oh yeah.
I remember. I remember growing up. I remember in middle school. I remember hanging out with, I guess, the quote unquote like thugs. You know.
Yeah.
You know, like we'd go around. I'd wear like basketball shorts that were below my knee.
Yeah.
You know, some tall.
Have like a Virgin Mary on the back of your shoulders.
All right. I wouldn't go that far. All right. Nah. But no, yeah. And then we'd go ride around, steal bikes and stuff. And
Yeah.
they would like, you know, we were in middle school, so we were like what, 15, 16. They were like smoking weed and stuff, and they would always. That's one thing. I always kept my mom in mind, you know. Like I always kept my mom in mind, so they'd always ask me, it's like, "Hey man, you want to smoke?"
Yeah.
Like, "You want to smoke?" And I'd always tell them, I was like, "No man, I got you next summer though.
Yeah.
Next summer will come along." They're like, we all sitting in some shed or something. They're all hitting a bong or something, and they're like, "Hey man, you want to smoke?" It's like, nah, man, next summer. I got you for sure next summer, man. But the reason I would say that is I'd keep my mom, like, because I'd never done any of that stuff, you know.
Yeah,
I'd never done
sure.
any drugs or whatever. So, but I kept my mom in the back of my head, because my mom would always tell me, like, she'd like, don't be doing like bad stuff. And,
Right.
and she'd also give me a lot of freedom growing up, you know. She'd let me go out at 14, 15, ride around town in my bike, you know,
for sure.
hanging out with my friends. So she'd give me a lot of freedom. So it was just it was kind of like respect towards her, you know, that I wouldn't do that stuff because she gave me so much trust. And that was just who I was growing up. But no, definitely I've surrounded that was the one time in my life I was really hanging around with a questionable crowd, you know.
Yeah.
And even in high school too, I remember just be getting in trouble for just some dumb things. Example, like hanging out on railroad tracks, or one time it was so dumb. We throwing rocks at a damn bus, a damn school bus.
What the hell?
Yeah, it was just like it was far, you know. It's
yeah.
far. Me and my friends were like, it's like, all right, let's see who can get closest to the bus, you know.
Yeah.
But like it was far enough to where we weren't gonna hit it, you know. And if we did, I mean,
that'd be fucking dope.
yeah, it would be pretty dope. But no, but and then of course the school bus driver saw us trying to throw rocks and called the cops. And then I remember because there was this unmarked car, you know, pulling up. We had just got to my friend's house, and there was an unmarked car pulling up, and he rolls down the window, and he's like, "Hey!" And we all looked back, and like we kind of knew that like it was someone of authority, but you know he didn't have nothing. So we're like, "Oh shit!" And we started taking off down the alleyway, man. We just running down the alley, and then here comes, and this guy gets out of his car, starts chasing us. He's like, "Hey, stop, police!" And then once I kept running for a little bit. And once I heard that, and like I'm like, oh shit, like but better stop before it gets, you know, I get into more trouble. I think I was in high school by then. I was like a freshman or something, and me and two other buddies, me and the one friend, we both stopped, and then the third one, he kept running, man. He ended up hiding under some house, and like his mom was a teacher at some school, and they went and picked her up. And like they were like looking for him and stuff. But no, yeah, I definitely had my fair share of hanging out with the wrong crowd. But
I did that, like a similar story to that. I ran away from the police when I was in junior high. I was with 3 other friends, and they weren't the best friends, but they just lived down the street. And we were in junior high, you know, we went to the skating rink, and, you know, that was the place to go on the weekends on Friday nights.
Yes, sir, man.
The skating rink, you know, we were in 7th grade, man, and we were, like, trying to flirt with these girls, you know.
Yes, sir.
Whatever, you know, we were just, you know, doing our things as kids. And then, it was time to go, but we didn't want to go home, so we found a ride with an older guy, and we got everyone in the truck, and then me and the boys were like, me and the girls will get in the bed, and we'll just go home from there. So we were just all messing around in the bed and all that of the truck. And then they went up that hill by Brahms, that little big steep hill.
Yep.
And there was a cop behind us. And then the guy that was driving, went really fast on it. And all you see is all of our bodies just go.
Yeah.
Oh, truck,
shit,
dude.
in the bed of the truck.
In the bed of the truck, you see 4 bodies just go up in the air. And then the cop behind us puts on his lights, And the idiot that was driving, I guess, was underage or something. So he booked it. And then we were by the junior high, and we had lost him a little bit, but we could still hear him. And all I remember is me and my 3 friends, we said, screw the girls, and we dipped out of the truck, and we just headed down Chestnut Street. And that was one of the funniest things. One of the baddest things I did as a kid was just run away, and wasn't that.
Did you guys get caught?
No, we didn't, because it was down the junior high, and it's where I live now. Mm-hmm. So we all ran to my house. And I remember my dad came out, and we were all out of breath. And then my dad was like, "¿Qué pasó? What's going on?" type of thing. I was like, "Oh, we just had a race to see who would get here to the house first." And we were all tripping big time. Yeah. It was one of the a little cool experience, but something I look back at, and again, it's like, damn, that was really stupid,
Yeah, but that's part of growing up. That's how we learn,
Life lessons for sure.
Yeah.
I can't really say I got anything that.
Luis was a good boy, man.
Yeah,
Luis did everything right.
No, dude,
Luis ain't get no trouble.
No, dude, dude, honestly, I was just hanging out with George, Ronald, and just whenever Rudy was around too. Rudy was my good friend. Dude, me and Rudy would just go around everywhere, and we would fucking fight the Cholos.
That's pretty bad, bro. That goes under
Frankie,
the category. Yeah.
Frankie, and then Arturo, and some other guys, and bro,
street fighters.
Yeah, dude, we were just freaking fighting these guys just for fun.
I remember after junior high or something, you would go down because the junior high is right next to the center or the square here in Carthage, and down by the it was down Oak where that hill is, where that bridge is.
Yeah.
Under the bridge, dude.
I
was there, yeah, dude.
Yeah, you were there.
I was there. Yeah, I remember because we'd all meet up there after school, and then there was fights going on there and stuff.
And then I remember I fought Frankie once behind Chris's backyard. I fought him once today, then fought him again. I forgot where else, but I mean, I was just. Because I don't know, like I said, I'm more the rougher side of the party, and so was Rudy. So we're just all right, we can take these motherfuckers on, so let's fucking fight.
Yeah, I grew up with Rudy too, and he'd get pissed, bro. I try to calm him down. I was like, man, chill. Yeah.
He's always been physical too.
Yeah, but I remember that was the spot to fight. That's where we'd all meet up. Yeah. People would fight and stuff. And a lot of the times it was with gloves. A lot of the times
it was gloves.
It was gloves. Yeah, but there was a couple times where there was the fist. The fist came out.
Bare knuckles.
Bare knuckle. Yeah.
I never fought bare knuckle.
No, I didn't either. But the next day you'd see the kids. You see just all bruises all over the face.
Arturo and Rudy fought freaking all with no gloves, and Arturo didn't show up for the next 2 days, but whenever he did show up, he was all bruised up and stuff. Damn.
Yeah, man.
They're good times growing up for sure, man. Especially around you guys in the town of Carthage, But,
yeah, it's all so close. We all just grew up together and stuff. But other than that, I think we're about ready to wrap up, man.
Yeah.
You got anything? You got anything to say to the people that are listening, to the younger guys that might be listening to this podcast here sometime soon?
Just get in shape.
Get in shape.
Just keep. If your passion is soccer or wrestling or any type of sport, just keep pushing. Yeah. We were all, and whenever our time was, we all devoted our summers to getting ready and prepped for it, or whatever. And it's just, one of the most important things I want to say is enjoy it. Because now we're all in our 20s, and we would die to go back, play one more game underneath those YMCA lights, man. And it's like, dang, you know, it really does go by fast whenever they are like in a blink of an eye from freshman year to senior year. It's like too quick.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy how like, you know, that they all tell you like it'll be here before you know it, you know?
And then it's there. It's your senior night, and it's like last game, you know, last district game, whatever.
So, I mean, if you listen to this podcast, if you like soccer, if you want some directions to look to, you can hit me up, hit Julia up, or hit, you know.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Elder knows some people that he could probably hook you guys up, too, and play some comp soccer or something. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, develop your skills, definitely. But other than that, my friend, thank you.
That's awesome, guys.
Thank you for coming.
Appreciate for coming.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having me, really.
Yeah, and I look forward to seeing what these next couple of seasons hold for you in the soccer program.
I'm also looking forward for you to teach my son.
Dude, little Manny gonna come and be a beast. Man. I see it already, man.
He gonna be fist fighting on the damn field, man.
I'm gonna be like, I know,
because the camera.
I'm gonna look at him and be like, I know your dad, little bro. Like, I know exactly how you are. So don't be trying to sneak some stuff in here. Really, I'm gonna keep a close eye on little Manny when he gets up there.
Yeah, make it run.
I was like, give me 2 more sprints. Yeah.
All right, man. Thanks.
Fellas. Yep.
That's it.
See you guys in the next podcast.